I'm going to try and take Galatians 5:22 through 23, because this is what I'd like to share with you. And in Galatians 5:22 through 23, it talks about the fruit of the Spirit. And so what we're going to do is take this and fill out. We're going to take the word used to identify, over on the far side there, we're going to take the word that talks about words used to identify spiritual maturity would be what's labeled as the fruit of the Spirit. And then what I'd like to do next is explain, give explanations of what those words mean for personal application. And so when I look at this, the first thing I need to recognize is this. We're going to call this, like I say, fruit of the Spirit. And so I'd like to say this. The reason why I designed this in this fashion is because I wanted to find ways of making it applicable to me. And this has been very helpful to me because I want the Word to come alive for me and live in my heart. And so my goal was to find out, okay, what does Galatians 5:22 through 23 say to me? And so the first thing I'd like to do before we actually get this chart is say this. That the word fruit of the Spirit is not fruits of the Spirit. It is fruit, singular, of the Spirit. And what it does is it gives you words that explain what this fruit of the Spirit looks like. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If I pull out a grapefruit here, it is a grapefruit, okay? But it has many components to it. It's still called a grapefruit, even though there's various components to it. For example, you have on the outside the peel. Now, if you take the peel of a lemon, an orange, or a grapefruit, and you take just the peel, and you take and bend it so it's in this shape, and you're going to squeeze it here at the bottom, and you light a match, and you squeeze it, it'll spark, because the oil shooting out of the skin will ignite. And so you'll see sparks coming off that oil from the match. So the skin has oil in it too. Another part, another component to the grapefruit. Inside of the skin is the pulp. And then inside of that is the core that runs down through the center. And then there's little sections in there. And the section has the skin around it. And the skin has vesicles inside of that. And then juice inside the vesicle. And then there's the seeds. So all these components make up the grapefruit. So that's what I'd like to look at here. For example, only a mature tree can bear fruit. An immature tree will not bear fruit. Now, as it's getting more and more mature, you'll see evidence of it getting ready to bear fruit. For example, you'll see a flower, and then the flower has this little bead that's left. But if it's immature, the bead will just fall off. That's the nubbin that's going to be grapefruit. It'll just fall off because it's not mature enough yet to handle that. And so what we're looking at is that we all need to develop a greater degree of spiritual maturity, and we need to recognize that we only will bear this fruit as we are mature. So how am I going to get there? How do I know what I'm doing?